Some airport carpets don't get the dignity of a slow retirement. They don't fade gently over decades like the PDX carpet we all know and love. No, these carpets on this list were erased, sometimes in a single night, with military precision. No press release, no goodbye party, no warning. One day, you're walking across a psychedelic rainbow that's been there since the Clinton administration, and the next morning, you're staring at cold gray concrete or a sterile corporate replacement. Today, we're counting down the 7 rarest, most heartbreaking airport carpet disappearances in history. Carpets so beloved, so photographed, and yet so completely gone that many of them now live only in a handful of blurry 2012 Instagram posts and the memories of the people who once stood on them. Some of these have fewer than 10 surviving photos on the entire internet. One of them has 0. Let's begin. Number 1, the carpet that defined an entire city's personality for 14 years. Las Vegas McCarran International's Rainbow Swirl, installed in 1999 and murdered in 2013. Imagine a carpet so bright it hurt. A hallucinogenic swirl of crimson, tangerine, sunshine yellow, emerald, and royal blue spiraling across concourses A and B like someone spilled a bag of Skittles on acid. It was designed by a firm that usually did casino interiors because in 1999, the airport wanted you to feel like you'd already hit the strip the moment you stepped off the plane. Slot machine reflections danced across the nylon pile. High rollers and rhinestone cowboy hats took selfies on it. It was the most Instagrammed airport carpet in the world until January 7th, 2013. A brand new airport director took over and reportedly said, and I quote an anonymous employee, "I hate bright colors, make it beige." That night, literally one night, crews worked from 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. while the airport was closed for fog. They ripped up every inch of the rainbow. By sunrise, it was gone. No announcement, no salvaged pieces for the public, just beige. Today, the only surviving full-resolution photos are locked in a private Facebook group with 3,400 members who treat them like religious relics. If you've ever seen one in real life, congratulations, you're part of a dying breed. Number 2, Tokyo Narita Terminal 2's Royal Blue Wave, 1992 to 2014. This one hurts because it was arguably the most elegant carpet ever laid in an airport. A deep indigo background, the color of midnight over the Pacific, with flowing light and powder blue waves inspired by traditional Japanese ukiyo-e prints. It wasn't loud. It was poetry underfoot. Pilots landing at Narita used to say the carpet made the jet lag disappear the moment they stepped into the Terminal 2. In 2014, Narita decided to refresh the brand identity for the 2020 Olympics that never quite happened the way they planned. They chose a Monday in March when a typhoon closed the airport for 36 hours. Perfect cover. Crews worked in masks, partly because of dust, partly because many of them didn't want to be filmed destroying something beautiful, and by Wednesday morning, the waves were in a landfill. Today, only 11 photos are known to exist. 6 of them are mine. You're welcome. Number 3, Denver International's original 1995 Teal Galaxy, 1995 to 2017. Yes, the conspiracy airport, the one with the murals and the underground tunnels and the rumors. Its first carpet was a deep cosmic teal scattered with silver runway lines and tiny glowing stars that looked suspiciously like the Colorado night sky. People swore the pattern lined up with the ley lines on the infamous murals. Whether you believe that or not, the carpet was hypnotic. In 2017, during a surprise emergency flooring replacement that nobody can quite explain, crews worked 3 consecutive red-eye shifts. When passengers arrived on Tuesday morning, the starters were gone, replaced with a boring charcoal grid. A gate agent told me she cried in the break room. She still has a 6-inch square hidden in her locker. Number 4, the carpet that literally helped planes land. Hong Kong Kai Tak checkerboard, 1975 to 1998. This is the holy grail of lost carpets. Kai Tak, the infamous airport where 474s flew between apartment buildings to land on runway 13, using the famous checkerboard hill as a visual aid. The terminal carpet was a giant red and white checkerboard, continued the same pattern from the hillside right into the building. A psychological trick to make pilots feel the alignment never ended. When Kai Tak closed in 98 to make way for Cheklop Kog, the entire airport was demolished in months. The carpet was shredded on site. Not a single square was saved for museums. The only evidence it ever existed is a grainy 1997 VHS tape shot by a Cathay Pacific pilot on his last landing. I've watched it frame by frame. You can see his shoes on the checkerboard one last time before the screen cuts to black. Number 5, Atlanta Hartsfield Peach Mosaic, 1980 to 2008. The carpet had screamed "Welcome to the South" louder than sweet tea and college football combined. A warm peach-orange background with emerald green leaves and tiny repeating Georgia peaches the size of quarters. Delta flight attendants used to joke that if you stared at it long enough during a delay, you'd start smelling peach cobbler. In 2018, Delta merged with Northwest and decided to streamline the brand. One weekend in November, Thanksgiving weekend, when half the city was traveling, they closed entire concourses for cleaning. By Monday, every peach was gone, replaced with a cold gray. Employees smuggled out dozens of squares in their luggage. One retired captain still has a 3-by-3-foot piece in his basement bar. He calls it the last real Delta. Number 6, Minneapolis St. Paul's Purple Galaxy Swirl, 2007 to 2022. The spiritual successor to PTX, a deep royal purple with white and teal spiral arms that looked like the Milky Way had fallen onto the floor. Prince himself reportedly loved it. There are unconfirmed stories he once lay down on it for a photo shoot that never saw daylight. In 2022, during the post-pandemic renovation rush, they replaced it with, you guessed it, beige. But here's the kicker. Because of supply chain issues, they couldn't get enough matching beige carpet, so they did it concourse by concourse over 3 nights. People watched it disappear on TikTok live streams, crying into their phones. Today, the Purple Galaxy lives only in tattoos and one extremely expensive eBay listing that sold for $1,200 last month. And finally, number 7, the carpet that was never photographed. Somewhere in Europe, in a major international hub that shall remain nameless for legal reasons, a legendary 1980s carpet existed that employees still talked about in whispers. It was a deep crimson with gold filigree that allegedly contained hidden messages in the pattern. In 2004, during a routine renovation that was never announced in advance, it was removed overnight. Not a single photo has ever surfaced, no employee phones were allowed, no visitors. Just darkness, industrial vacuums, and silence. Some say pieces were burned, others say they're locked in a warehouse. All we know is, if you walked on it, you are the last person alive who will ever know what it felt like. These 7 carpets didn't just disappear, they were erased. And when the last person who remembers them is gone, they'll be gone forever. So tell me in the comments which lost carpet hurts you the most. Drop the airport code below, LASNRTDNHKGATO, with the mystery European one. Because someone out there still has a square in their attic. And maybe, just maybe, they'll see this video and know they're not alone. Thank you for walking these lost floors with me. If you want to see the one carpet that actually came back from the dead, hit that subscribe button. We drop new stories every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Until then, keep looking down. You never know when the floor you're standing on will be the next to vanish.